After her marriage to Richie Sambora ended, Heather Locklear's world quickly unraveled in the spotlight. While the outside world saw two stars splitting behind closed doors, Heather felt a profound sense of loss that stretched far beyond tabloid gossip. The constant attention and invasive headlines magnified every problem, making her struggles with anxiety and sadness nearly impossible to hide. Constant paparazzi attention and rumors about her relationships only added to the strain. A series of public incidents, including hospitalizations and run-ins with the law, reflected the inner chaos she was trying desperately to contain. Throughout these challenges, her career hit setbacks as scripts stopped coming and appearances became rare, not because talent faded, but because personal problems overshadowed her work. Friends and family tried to help, but the pain of heartbreak was not easily fixed by support or advice. Even so, moments of resilience shone through, with Locklear determined to prove she could move forward, even as questions about her well-being persisted. Efforts to rebuild her image included facing her issues openly, seeking treatment, and slowly returning to acting, each small success a step against a tide that threatened to pull her under. Dating after her divorce became part of her journey, though rarely peaceful, often marked by the search for stability in the middle of emotional storms. Today, many who followed her stories see not just the glamour of her past roles, but also the courage behind each attempt to start again, shaped as much by heartbreak as by resolve. With her large blue eyes, golden hair, and infectious grin, Heather stood out from her classmates throughout her early life. Whether walking down the hallway, sitting in a quiet classroom, or laughing with friends outside under the sun, her beauty seemed untouched by the passing of time. Friends and teachers alike were drawn to her charm, but it was not just her looks that made her memorable. Her open warmth, the ease of her laughter, and the sincerity that shone through every smile made her a favorite among those who knew her. Like many others, Heather's heart was captured by her passion for the late Fawcett, a feeling she shared and cherished dearly. Among her circle of friends, Chris Heiser held a special place. He was a little child, one of her school pals, and together their early days were marked by innocent glances and promises exchanged in the hush of a school corridor. Their love was tender, shy, and pulsed with a kind of hope that only young hearts can feel, a gentle connection that seemed full of promise and possibility. As years went by, time led Heather and Chris along different directions, and the tides of youth carried them into separate lives. Life's endless unfolding meant that their paths would cross again when neither expected it, as if destiny itself had quietly waited for just the right moment to bring them back together, reminding them of all they once shared and the future that might still await. After meeting during an audition in the early 1980s, Heather Locklear and Tom Cruise decided to spend an evening together. Although people sometimes describe this as a date, Heather made it clear during a 2013 appearance on Chelsea Lately with Chelsea Handler that it was never technically a real date. The two young actors were just starting out, and it seemed more like two colleagues hanging out than romantic partners looking to see if there was chemistry. That night, Tom, who had just impressed Hollywood in the film Risky Business, decided to showcase some of the signature dance moves and techniques from his role. This choice stood out to Heather, who later described the moment as a bit awkward and perhaps unexpected. Instead of any flirty conversation or whispered secrets, Tom turned their time together into a sort of performance, moving across the space with the same energy and moves viewers had seen on the big screen. As the evening came to an end, it became clear that there wouldn't be another night out between them, and no plans for a second date were made. Heather would go her separate way, ultimately becoming famous for her roles in television series like Dynasty and Melrose Place, while Tom went on to become an international movie star. Their one and only evening together became a funny story Heather would occasionally share, giving people a glimpse into the early days of both actors before they became household names. At the time Scott Baio first met Heather Locklear, he felt an intense attraction that quickly deepened into love. He expressed to People magazine that his feelings for Heather were unlike anything he had ever experienced before. She was the first woman he had ever truly loved. Nevertheless, even with such strong emotions, Baio could not overcome his well-known struggle with commitment. This personal issue became the main reason their promising relationship failed to last. Over time, Baio's inability to remain faithful became more evident as he faced multiple infidelity scandals, casting a long shadow over both his reputation and his personal relationships. His ongoing problems with faithfulness not only affected his own romantic life, but also defined the way his relationship with Heather Locklear eventually came to an end. The feelings he had for her were sincere, but they couldn't endure the consistent challenges posed by his lack of commitment and repeated mistakes. During the holiday season, Heather Locklear and Mark Harmon shared a brief but noticeable connection that drew some attention in Hollywood circles. Mark Harmon, known for being one of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors at the time, and Heather Locklear, already a well-known personality in the industry, started seeing each other around Christmas. Their relationship, however, did not last long, coming to an end by New Year's. This whirlwind dating episode showed that despite both being popular and attractive stars, their time together was short-lived, indicating the absence of a deeper bond. The holidays are often seen as a magical period, and perhaps the initial excitement drew them together, but it quickly became clear that their connection would not endure past the season. The pairing of two such prominent figures for even a short period made headlines and sparked curiosity, but ultimately, their romance fizzled almost as fast as it began. Proof that not every Hollywood pairing is destined to last or leave a lasting impact on the people involved. Eventually, Tommy Lee, who was known as the energetic drummer for Mötley Crüe, first saw Heather Locklear backstage at a Rio Speedwagon show in 1985. Instead of his usual bold approach, Tommy felt nervous and ended up asking a mutual friend for help to make the introduction. Right away, there was an attraction that quickly grew into a relationship. After only 3 months of dating, Tommy decided to propose, showing just how intense their connection felt in those early weeks. Heather was aware that her parents might not be thrilled about her relationship with a rock musician, especially one known for his wild onstage persona, but Tommy did his best to win over her family as well. After some effort, he managed to earn their approval, and the couple went on to have a grand wedding. Their marriage was widely talked about at the time, both because of their celebrity status and the glamorous ceremony they threw. However, as their relationship moved forward, bigger problems began to surface. With both Heather and Tommy having busy schedules, Tommy constantly touring, and Heather working long hours on her acting projects, the pair often found themselves living separate lives. On top of the distance, Tommy's hard-partying lifestyle became an ongoing issue. Reports of excessive partying and growing rumors of infidelity started to weigh heavily on their marriage. Things reached a breaking point when Heather discovered evidence of an affair, including a tape that left no room for doubt. Unable to move past these betrayals and the strain that had built up, Heather decided to file for divorce, ending a high-profile but troubled relationship that had started in such a whirlwind of excitement and hope. Soon after meeting through a mutual friend in 1994, Heather Locklear and Richie Sambora began a relationship that quickly grew serious. Both already well known in their own fields, Heather as a popular actress and Richie as the guitarist for Bon Jovi, their partnership attracted a lot of attention. Their wedding became a celebrated event among fans and friends, illustrating what many saw as a perfect match between two successful, high-profile people. Their shared commitment led to the birth of their daughter, Ava, in 1997, a moment that marked both a new chapter and a deepened bond within their family. Raising Ava together became central to both their lives, and she became a focal point in their shared decisions and day-to-day routines. However, as years went on, Heather discovered incriminating emails on Richie's computer, shaking the foundation of their marriage. This discovery left her devastated, causing her to reevaluate their relationship and her trust in him. In 2007, she made the difficult choice to file for divorce. The separation was contentious, with strong emotions on both sides, yet both Heather and Richie made a consistent effort to shield their daughter from any lasting conflict. For Ava's sake, they worked to maintain a good relationship, avoiding unnecessary drama and focusing on their role as co-parents. Through both public attention and private struggles, Heather remained committed to supporting her daughter and adapting to the changes that came with the end of her marriage to Richie. First, Heather Locklear's romantic life drew attention when she began seeing David Spade, known for his sharp wit and a personality that stood out in Hollywood. Their connection sparked quickly, thanks partly to Spade's sense of humor, which Heather found charming, and his looks, which she appreciated. The relationship lasted 6 months, with Spade enjoying her warmth and the fun spirit she brought into his life. Though brief, this chapter was noted for its easy playfulness and mutual respect. Following that, Heather became involved with Jack Wagner, her co-star from Melrose Place. Their on-set chemistry soon turned personal, leading to a romantic relationship off the screen. The bond grew deeper, and they eventually became engaged in 2011, envisioning a future together. However, as time passed, Both Heather and Jack realize that marrying may not be in the best interest of their children from previous relationships. After much consideration, they decided to call off their engagement within the same year. The end of the engagement was not without turbulence. An intense argument between Heather and Jack escalated to the point that the police were called to intervene. Although the incident attracted attention, no charges were filed, and the matter was left unresolved in the public eye. Despite such ups and downs, Heather's relationships with both Spade and Wagner revealed different sides of her personality, from her playful, light-hearted approach to dating to more complex, emotionally charged experiences during her engagement. These connections, though distinct in their nature and outcomes, shaped public perception and added layers to her personal story. After her split from Wagner, Heather Locklear found herself exploring new possibilities in her personal life. During this period, she was involved with Larry Porish, who worked as a computer entrepreneur. The relationship with Larry was steady for a time, marked by mutual understanding, but eventually, the two decided to end things on a friendly note. Heather later became involved with Mark Manny, a surgeon, who brought a different perspective to her life. This relationship, like the one before, did not end with harsh feelings or drama, but instead concluded in a peaceful and amicable way. Years later, in 2018, a surprising and joyful turn took place when Heather reconnected with her high school sweetheart, Chris Heiser. The two rediscovered their connection after years apart, and decided to make things official by getting engaged. This renewed relationship came at a significant moment, as Heather was also celebrating sobriety, marking a new and hopeful chapter in her life with Chris by her side. Starting with her breakthrough roles in television, Heather Locklear quickly became a household name because of her work in several widely watched TV series. Her rise began when she appeared on the show Dynasty, a program that captured the attention of audiences throughout the 1980s. As she took on the role of Sammy Jo Carrington, her talent and charisma made a strong impression, and her popularity with viewers grew. Then, moving to the police drama T.J. Hooker, Heather Locklear took on the character of Officer Stacy Sheridan. Working alongside famed stars, she delivered energetic and confident performances, which brought her even more acclaim. She continued her television success with one of her most iconic roles in Melrose Place, a soap opera that was at the heart of 1990s pop culture. Her character, Amanda Woodward, became a central figure on the show, and Heather's strong acting helped hold the series together through its ups and downs. This performance led to several Golden Globe nominations, documentation of how her work was consistently recognized by her industry peers. Later, Heather Locklear starred on Spin City, another major television series. This show further demonstrated her ability to bring humor and depth to her roles, and she again won praise, proving her versatility in different genres. In the years that followed, she extended her career by starring in various films for Lifetime Television. Audiences and critics alike heaped praise on her for roles that showcased both her dramatic and lighter sides, maintaining her reputation as a dependable and engaging actress on the small screen. Throughout all these phases of her career, Heather Locklear maintained a prominent presence in television, consistently earning recognition for her performances and remaining visible in an ever-changing industry. Over the years, Heather Locklear faced difficult personal challenges that shaped her life in many ways. Legal troubles became part of her story, including a DUI arrest that made headlines and a hit-and-run ticket that added to public scrutiny. There were also domestic violence charges that brought even more attention and stress to her situation. She tried to cope with growing pressures by entering rehab several times, working to fight struggles with depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Each attempt at recovery showed how hard she was trying to regain control over her life, even as setbacks appeared. During these struggles, maintaining a strong relationship with her daughter Ava became a source of comfort and motivation. Locklear worked to keep that bond close, despite her personal battles. Her determination to work on her recovery and be there for Ava stood out, as a reminder of her ongoing efforts to face obstacles and find a path forward. However, throughout times of difficulty, Heather Locklear's fans and family have stayed by her side, offering encouragement when she needed it the most. Even when faced with personal challenges, their support was steady. Heather herself has shown a strong will to overcome obstacles. She listens to advice and uses the encouragement from those who care about her to keep moving forward. Her connection with her daughter remains an important part of her life, and she keeps working on that relationship, making sure that her efforts to overcome setbacks do not come at the expense of their bond. The loyalty from those around her helps her find strength and their continual presence gives her comfort when things get tough. She finds a sense of hope in knowing that, despite everything, there are people who will not walk away. The encouragement she receives, both public and private, keeps her motivated as she tries to rebuild and move ahead, working hard to maintain the ties that matter the most to her. Despite turning down several roles, including a recurring part on Good Morning Miami, Heather Locklear remained a top choice for directors and producers in Hollywood. During these years, the decisions she made about which roles to pursue helped shape her unique position in the industry. Her ability to decline projects, even when they seemed promising, did not diminish her status as a sought-after actress. Instead, it highlighted her confidence in her own career path. While other actresses might have worried about missed chances, Heather focused her energy on the parts she found most meaningful. As a result, she took on leading roles in several Lifetime movies, which became a significant part of her career. Starring in films like Angels Fall, He Loves Me, and Flirting with 40, she brought authenticity and depth to the characters she portrayed. Each of these films reached a wide audience and received positive feedback, further showing her talent for connecting with viewers through complex and relatable roles. By remaining selective about her projects, Heather Locklear proved that an actress can still have a strong and successful career, even when passing on high-profile opportunities. Her performances in these movies continued to draw attention, making her a familiar face for television audiences and allowing her to explore new sides of her craft. These choices shaped the later years of her career and showed her ongoing dedication to acting, the audience, and the stories being told. Through recent years, Heather Locklear has found herself facing a string of ongoing challenges that have played out both privately and in the public eye. Arrests, trips to rehab, and other troubling incidents have cast a shadow over her later career. Each headline, while difficult, reflects struggles that many people know too well, chasing hope even as personal setbacks pile up. Once, during her high school years, Heather was admired not just for her personality, but also for her stunning beauty. Her large blue eyes seemed almost to light up a room, her golden hair catching the light, and her infectious grin making her the center of attention. Those qualities, still remembered, hint at a vivacity that endures even when times are tough. While the path for Heather has been uneven and very public, there remains a cautious sense that stability is possible, that the resilience she once displayed may ultimately guide her through these trials. Early on, Heather's teenage romance with Chris Heiser was gentle and filled with simple joys, the kind that come with passing notes, holding hands in hallways, and impossible dreams shared when everything feels new. The affection they had was understated, marked more by small gestures and shy conversations than anything extravagant. Over time, as often happens, life took them down separate paths, but time had not erased the bond they formed. Years later, pushed by old memories, and maybe a sense that the past still had something to say, Heather and Chris found each other again. There was a quiet understanding, a comfort in slipping back into familiar roles, a gentle echo of their younger selves. Later, fame and music would shape a different chapter when Tommy Lee came into Heather's life. Unlike the bashful innocence of high school days, Tommy brought with him the energy and uncertainty of a rock star existence. His first interest wasn't direct. Feeling awkward, he relied on a mutual friend to introduce him to Heather. Despite his public confidence, there was a layer of nervousness in approaching her, a display of vulnerability behind the loud persona. The beginning of their romance was full of contrasts. Tommy was bold and could command a room, his lifestyle loud and fast. That world was new to Heather, but she adapted, learning how to find her footing beside him. When they appeared together, it was a pairing of glamour and grit. Heather became practiced at merging into Tommy's world, often finding herself backstage, meeting new personalities, and trying to blend in without losing her own sense of self. She navigated the challenges of their relationship with patience, while still longing for parts of the quieter, earlier life. Their partnership captured people's attention, thanks to the magnetism that came from mixing a rock legend's chaotic energy with Heather's poise and warmth, making their relationship both turbulent and fascinating. Although Tommy Lee's tattoos and piercings initially caused concern for Heather Locklear's strict father, Tommy managed to win him over by showing sincere love and dedication to Heather. This acceptance was a significant step in their relationship, demonstrating how genuine feelings can sometimes overcome initial judgments based on appearance. However, despite this early approval, Tommy Lee's lifestyle eventually created serious problems. His tendency to party excessively and his infidelity took a toll on their marriage. Notably, an affair he had was caught on tape, which became a turning point for Heather. The betrayal and public nature of this incident pushed her to the decision to file for divorce, marking the end of their troubled union. The challenges they faced highlight how love and acceptance can be tested by personal choices and actions. After Heather found explicit emails on Richie Sambora's computer, their marriage took a sharp turn. The messages were not just words, but included revealing pictures from a person they both considered a friend. This discovery hurt Heather deeply, and was the final straw in their already troubled relationship, leading her to file for divorce. The situation worsened after the separation, when Richie started dating Denise Richards, who had been one of Heather's close friends. This new relationship put even more strain on Heather, as she felt betrayed not just by her former husband, but also by someone she had trusted as a friend. The overlap in these relationships created a difficult atmosphere filled with hurt feelings and broken trust. News spread quickly in magazines and on television, and it seemed Heather could not escape the attention or the gossip. It was a tough period, both personally and in the public eye, as her private heartbreak became headline news, and old friendships fell apart right alongside her marriage. Even after their divorce, Heather and Richie worked hard to co-parent their daughter Ava in a respectful and friendly way. Many times, they spent holidays together, putting Ava first and showing her that they could get along, even if they were no longer a couple. Their ability to do this made a big difference in their daughter's life, allowing her to have both parents present at important moments without any awkwardness or fighting. This was especially meaningful, given how tense divorces can sometimes become. Instead of holding grudges, Heather and Richie focused on sharing family time, building memories that let Ava know she was cared for by both of them. During this period in her life, Heather also had a brief relationship with David Spade. What attracted Heather most to David was his humor. His wit and ability to make her laugh stood out to her, bringing some lightness and joy during a time that might otherwise have been difficult. Lieutenant Heather was drawn to how fun he could make even simple moments feel. Though the relationship did not last long, it highlighted how important laughter and genuine connection were for her, especially after the challenges she and Richie had faced in their marriage and divorce. Maintaining a positive relationship with Richie and being able to appreciate someone like David showed Heather's desire for understanding, respect, and happiness in the relationships that mattered to her most. After Jack Wagner presented Heather Locklear with a 6-carat diamond ring, the moment seemed full of promise for both of them. Their engagement was publicly shared, and many people believed their relationship would head toward marriage. However, things were not as smooth as they appeared. Time and family pressures started to weigh heavily on the couple, causing strain and second thoughts. Both Heather and Jack realized that with their busy schedules and responsibilities, moving forward with the engagement might not be practical. The choice to call off the engagement was not made lightly, and it reflected their understanding of the complexities in their lives, rather than a loss of affection. Alongside this, their relationship saw another difficult point, when a heated argument between Heather and Jack escalated sharply. The situation grew intense enough that the police became involved, drawing public attention to their personal difficulties. Despite the involvement of law enforcement, neither party pressed charges, and they chose not to make the dispute a legal matter. These events revealed some of the real-life pressures even celebrities can face in their relationships, where emotions sometimes overtake the best intentions, and the scrutiny adds another layer of challenge. After several high-profile romances, Heather Locklear found herself drawn to Larry Porish, who was a computer entrepreneur with a reputation entirely different from her usual circle of Hollywood relationships. The time they spent together seemed refreshing for Heather, as Larry brought a sense of calm and normalcy away from the bright lights and constant attention she was used to. Their connection turned serious enough that they became engaged, marking a new chapter in her personal life that broke away from her pattern of dating actors and famous musicians. However, despite the promising engagement, their story did not lead to marriage, and eventually they went their separate ways, each continuing down their own paths. Following her split from Larry Porish, Heather began a relationship with Mark Manny, who was known in his field as a successful cosmetic surgeon. This romance appeared to be more than just another love story, as both Heather and Mark seemed genuinely happy together, capturing the attention of the public and media, who commented often on their shared affection and the changes in Heather's demeanor during this period. Their relationship was marked by public outings and signs that Heather had found someone who truly understood her. Yet, even with all the signs of commitment and apparent love, this relationship ended by 2016, and once again Heather Locklear was single, facing new chapters and transitions in her personal life. After years filled with ups and downs, Heather Locklear found herself reconnecting with an important person from her past. In 2018, after traveling through many chapters of her personal and professional life, Heather reunited with her high school sweetheart, Chris Heiser. Their story wasn't simply about a quick reunion, but a return to comfort and familiarity just as Heather entered a new period of steady growth. Her decision to reunite with Chris came during a time when she marked a major milestone, 1 year of sobriety. This achievement brought a new sense of purpose and clarity, leading to their engagement soon after. Remembering the earlier days of her career, Heather rose to fame after being cast as Sammy Jo Dean Carrington in the television series Dynasty. The opportunity came when producer Aaron Spelling discovered her potential, offering her the role that would introduce her to millions and make her a household name. The show's popularity skyrocketed, and Heather's performance as Sammy Jo became unforgettable, opening doors to even more success in Hollywood. Her career, shaped by that breakthrough moment, became intertwined with her personal determination and resilience, qualities reflected in her decision to embrace both love and a renewed focus on her well-being. Surrounded by the echoes of her early triumphs and faced with new beginnings, Heather's story of revisiting her roots and celebrating major life changes stands out as a testament to how life's most important moments can lead from the glamour of television stardom to personal fulfillment found in meaningful relationships and hard-won sobriety. While other actors were content with a single starring role, Heather Locklear's career showed remarkable ambition when she took on dual duties in the early 1980s. At a time when television actors usually committed to only one show, she carved out a unique spot by working on both Dynasty and T.J. Hooker from 1981 to 1982. People in both Hollywood and living rooms across America were astonished by her stamina, as she regularly shifted between two extremely popular network television sets. This demanding schedule meant balancing shooting days, different characters, and two sets of writers and audiences who expected her best. Most performers rarely face such a challenge, making Heather's work ethic and skill all the more impressive. Years later, her drive continued to pay off as she secured 6 Golden Globe nominations spanning 8 years, from 1994 to 22. These nominations recognized her dynamic performances in Melrose Place and Spin City, 2 television hits that defined the era. With both shows, she established herself as a staple of primetime drama and comedy, impressing critics and viewers alike. Her run on Melrose Place, especially, was closely watched, and her characters' storylines helped fuel the show's ongoing popularity. Moving seamlessly to Spin City, her comedic range got its due, which made her presence even more noteworthy when the awards season came around year after year. These achievements marked significant milestones in a television career forged by hard work during years when the industry was changing fast. Surprisingly, Heather Locklear's journey into awards began in an unusual way when she received her first nomination for a Golden Raspberry Award as Worst Actress for her role in The Return of Swamp Thing. Even though winning this award is often considered an unwanted honor, it did not discourage her from moving ahead in her acting career. Instead, Heather soon garnered recognition for her talent with the first American in the Arts Award, marking a turning point that shifted the view of critics and audiences. After these moments, Heather moved toward television, where her real breakthrough happened. She found a new level of success with the shows Spin City and Melrose Place. On Melrose Place, her portrayal of Amanda Woodward captured viewers' attention and added a clever energy to the show, which became one of the reasons for its popularity. This role, along with her later performance on Spin City, allowed Heather to showcase her skills in both drama and comedy, leading to critical acclaim. Her powerful presence and memorable characters solidified her status as a television star and earned her a dedicated fan base. Throughout her television career, she was often recognized for her ability to bring depth to her characters, making her a household name during the years these shows aired. Other actors often praised her for her professionalism and the way she pulled viewers into the drama and humor of each episode. As the years passed, her roles in these popular series remained highlights in the minds of fans and critics, cementing her image as one of the faces of network television. Additionally, Heather Locklear carries a surname with a strong Tuscarora meaning, as Locklear stands for hold fast in that Native American language. Her father's heritage made her part of the Tuscarora lineage, connecting her with a long history of Native American roots. Growing up with this background influenced her identity and kept her close to her family's traditions. When Heather became a student at UCLA, she was not just focused on academics. She joined various extracurricular activities and used her energy to explore interests outside the classroom. While at UCLA, she also started modeling and quickly became noticed in the world of television commercials. She appeared in ads for brands like Pepsi and Polaroid, gaining recognition for her charm and poise. These early opportunities in front of the camera planted the seeds for her later work as a full-time actress, as she found success blending her heritage, education, and talent into each new role. After being turned down for the cheerleading team in high school, Heather found herself searching for a new place to belong. That disappointment opened a new door when she joined the drama club, surrounded by others who enjoyed expressing themselves through performance. As Heather spent more time on stage, she started to understand her passion for acting, realizing how much she enjoyed connecting with people through different roles. She brought that passion into her career, where her talent came through in many guest appearances. For example, she brought her playful side to an episode of Muppets Tonight, working with characters who were far from ordinary, and showing that she could keep up with humor and improvisation. On Scrubs, Heather's guest spot gave her the chance to blend comedy and drama, fitting into a fast-paced hospital setting where quick-witted remarks and heartfelt moments were both needed. Later, when she appeared on 2.5 Men, she matched the sharp comedic timing of the show, holding her own among well-known sitcom actors, and proving again that she could adapt to many different styles. Through experiences that started with a high school rejection, Heather learned not just how to act, but how to step into new situations with confidence, showing audiences that resilience and versatility could shine in every performance. After a period away from the headlines, Heather made news in 2017 when she crashed her Porsche in a ditch just outside Los Angeles. The accident left her with only minor injuries, which she took to social media to address, reassuring her fans that she was doing okay. There were many questions swirling about the cause of the wreck, but the focus quickly shifted to her resilient attitude as she reached out to those who had expressed their concern. Time passed, but the peaceful lull was interrupted in early 2018, drawing even more attention. Reports emerged of a domestic dispute that led to her arrest. It was alleged she assaulted her boyfriend Chris Heiser during an argument at home, which prompted the police to respond to the scene. The situation escalated, and when deputies arrived, she reportedly displayed aggressive behavior toward them, resulting in additional charges for battery of a police officer. Headlines covered the intense confrontation, mentioned her defiance, and detailed her actions during the arrest process. Throughout these events, speculation about her state of mind and well-being continued as she became the focus of public and media interest once again. Over the years, Heather Locklear's journey with mental health became both difficult and resilient. Dealing with ongoing anxiety and episodes of depression, she faced many days filled with worry, self-doubt, and panic. Substance abuse became another challenge that surfaced throughout her life. There were multiple times when the weight of her struggles grew so heavy that she entered rehabilitation, demonstrating a constant effort to seek help and improve her well-being. During her hardest moments, she did not walk alone. Her daughter Ava stood by her, offering both care and understanding. When anxiety and panic attacks would overwhelm her, Ava became a steady presence, comforting her mother and helping her find calm. Even as Heather worked through her own pain, she never stopped teaching Ava the values of strength, compassion, and perseverance. She shared lessons about facing hardships with honesty, showing Ava how to confront personal battles and support loved ones in crisis. Their relationship deepened in the process, each moment of worry and comfort shaping a greater bond based on empathy and trust. Despite her relapses or setbacks, Heather kept fighting for stability, while Ava continued to be a source of support and a reminder of hope in challenging times. Over the years, fans have shown steady support for Heather Locklear, especially during times when she has faced personal challenges. People often reach out on social media, sending her words of encouragement and offering advice, hoping to lift her spirits and remind her that she is not alone in difficult moments. Meanwhile, as her career shifted, Heather made important choices about the roles she would take. During this period, she turned down a recurring part in the television series Good Morning Miami, a decision that resulted in Ashley Williams stepping into the role that was initially intended for Heather. While the show moved forward with a different actress, Heather continued to build her unique career path. She appeared as a guest on popular series such as Scrubs and Ally McBeal, showing her range as an actress and exploring new character types. These appearances allowed her to stay visible in the industry and kept her connected to her fan base, who remained loyal even as her career evolved. Heather's ability to move past opportunities that may not have fit her goals, along with the unwavering encouragement from her supporters, helped her navigate both professional and personal changes. Throughout these years, she remained a public figure who was cheered on not just for her television work, but also for her resilience and openness about her journey. Over the years, Heather Locklear became especially recognized for her starring roles in Lifetime movies, finding renewed attention with titles like Angels Fall, He Loves Me, and Flirting with 40. These films attracted large audiences and were often praised by critics, allowing Heather to reach fans old and new with performances that showed her talent and range. Audiences enjoyed her portrayals of women overcoming obstacles, as these movies highlighted her ability to navigate dramatic and romantic roles with natural charm. Despite the professional success and positive reception of her work on television, Heather's personal life in recent years took difficult turns. Headlines shifted from her acting projects to a series of highly publicized incidents. Multiple arrests brought her personal struggles into the spotlight, and repeated visits to rehab followed as she faced personal and health challenges. Public incidents sometimes became front-page news, overshadowing her extensive career and the positive moments from her roles in popular movies. Yet, at the same time, there have been signs of support and resilience around her, offering hope that stability and recovery are within reach. Friends, family, and longtime fans have expressed optimism that Heather's story can take a brighter direction as she continues to work on herself.